If you've ever found yourself yelling, shutting down, or completely losing it during a hard parenting moment, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through what is actually happening when you're triggered and what you can do in the moment to stay calm and grounded. Hi, I'm KJ, a parenting coach, gentle parent, but most importantly, I am a cycle breaker. If you're tired of yelling and losing it on your child because you know that they deserve better than that, and then you're also tired of spiraling in shame and guilt afterwards, this is the place for you. I'm going to help you with that. But first, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe for more tips to help you on your healing and reparenting journey. So what exactly is a trigger? I'm going to read to you the definition according to Webster. A trigger is to cause an intense and usually negative emotional reaction in someone. When it comes to parenting triggers, usually it is your child's behavior. They do something and it causes an emotional reaction out of you. This is when you find yourself yelling or saying things that you don't necessarily mean because your body is having an emotional and physical reaction in that moment. We all have different parenting triggers. One parent might be triggered when their child talks back, and another parent might be triggered when they don't listen or when they're crying and have full-blown tantrums. So why is it that certain behaviors only impact some parents and not others? Well, that's because our triggers are really unique to our own experiences. They can go back to our childhood and how we were raised and the learned behaviors that we grew up with. If you were a child that wasn't allowed to cry or have big emotional reactions, your body learned tantrums, meltdowns, they're not safe to have. So now as an adult, as a parent yourself, if you experience your own child having big meltdowns and tantrums, all of a sudden your brain and body are alerting you. This isn't safe. We must stop this immediately. So as we are reparenting ourselves, what we're doing is we're teaching ourselves this is safe. This behavior is developmentally appropriate. It's okay for my child to have big feelings. We will get through this. I'm going to help them learn how to feel anger, how to feel frustration. This is not an emergency. And what you're doing is you're teaching your nervous system and your brain that this situation doesn't need to have that sort of emotional reaction from you. When you are starting this, it's really important for you to start being attuned to your body and start recognizing when you are becoming dysregulated. What I mean is starting to become more aware of what's happening internally in your body so you can catch yourself before you completely lose it in the moment. Certain ways dysregulation can show up in your body could be tightness in your chest. Maybe your heart starts racing. Maybe you find yourself clenching your fists or your jaw. Or maybe you feel the temperature in your body rising. These are all signs that your body is getting ready to fight or flee the situation. Your brain and body are completely in survival mode now. When you are in a survival state or fight or flight mode, it is much harder for you to think logically. You're now activated to prepare to fight or flee the situation. It's as if you've come face to face with a hungry bear in the wild, except there is no threat of a bear. Instead, it is your child's behavior that is triggering that same reaction in you. So once you're more aware of what's happening in your body and when you're starting to become more dysregulated, these are 4 steps you can follow to stay more calm and in control of yourself in the moment. Step 1 is to pause. It sounds simple enough, but it is a very important step. When you're triggered, you have an automatic response to that situation. When your nervous system is flooded with emotions and you're overwhelmed, you may have a certain way of reacting. It might show up as yelling, using threats, bribing, people-pleasing. And when you intentionally pause, meaning you just don't do anything in that moment, you are interrupting that cycle. You are consciously telling your brain and body, I'm going to act differently this time. That pause is going to give you enough space between your trigger and your reaction so that you can choose to respond differently. Step 2, during that pause, you're going to focus on grounding yourself. What I mean by this is you are going to take steps to regulate your body. When you are emotionally triggered, you're often thinking about the future, worrying about the past, and what you want to do is bring your mind and body back to the present. Some examples of ways that you can ground yourself in the moment is deep breathing. You might hear this a lot. Take a deep breath. Meditation is really good for your body. And it is. The breath is so important. Taking those deep breaths is a way to tell your brain and body, I'm safe. Everything's gonna be okay. Because if you think about it, if there really was a threat, if you really were face to face with a hungry bear, you wouldn't be taking the time to breathe in that moment. You would be fighting or running away. But by intentionally slowing your body down, taking those deep breaths, getting that oxygen into your body, you're sending a signal to your brain and body, I'm okay. One example of a deep breathing technique that I personally love is called 4-7-8 breathing. What you're gonna do is you're going to inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. You're gonna hold that for 7 seconds. And then you're gonna exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. And you're gonna repeat that a few times until you start to feel physically calmer in your body. Step 3, once you've paused and you've taken some time to calm your body down, you're gonna say your parenting mantra. You're gonna speak kindly to yourself. You're gonna remind yourself that your child is not the enemy. And you're going to give yourself some encouraging words because parenting is really hard. It's not easy for anybody. And usually in those moments of a trigger is when our mind is filled with all of these negative thoughts. We're thinking how terrible of a parent we are, how terrible our kids are, why is this so hard, I know better than this, they know better than this. But instead, you're going to shift your mindset and you're going to say your positive parenting mantras. My child is not giving me a hard time, they're having a hard time. My child needs me in this moment. My child is communicating that they don't have the skills to behave differently right now. This feels hard and that's okay. I've done hard things before and I can do it again. I am a good mom who's just having a hard time. Choose a parenting mantra that's going to help remind you of what matters most in parenting. It's not being in control of the situation or in control of your child. It's being able to maintain that connection with your child even during hard moments. Which brings us to step 4, which is to reconnect with your child. During a difficult parenting moment, there is usually some level of disconnection between you and your child. Instead of seeing you and your child as enemies, remind yourself that you and your child are on the same team. Your child is not the problem. You are not the problem. The behavior, that disconnect, that's the problem. So once you can remind yourself that you and your child are working together to solve that problem, you're gonna be able to shift your mindset into a more positive, solution-focused approach. So take a moment and figure out how you can reconnect with your child. When your child's behavior feels hard, it's because there's something there that they're trying to communicate with you. It could be a physical need. Maybe they're hungry, maybe they're tired, or maybe it's an emotional need. Maybe they need to feel seen, maybe they need to feel heard, or maybe they need some autonomy. Try to identify what the need is that your child is trying to communicate to you and meet that need. Once your child feels seen, heard, and validated, they're gonna be much more willing to cooperate with you. Remember, you're not gonna get it right every single time, but each time that you do pause and choose a different route, you are consciously rewiring your brain and body to respond differently, even during your triggering moments. This is part of the work you're doing to break that cycle of reactive parenting. I hope you found that helpful. Let me know in the comments below what resonated with you the most. Remember, progress over perfection. You can break cycles one pause at a time. Keep going, mama. You've got this.